It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. I am Shon Williams, aka Mr. President, the president of Toronto, and you're listening to the Safe Room here. This is a safe space for Toronto business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives, content creators, anyone who has a story to share. And today we have a very, very special guest. This individual is a content strategist, a creator, an entrepreneur, triple threat. We love the triple threats on the show.
Oh
And he
yeah.
is helping people turn their story into a brand and their brand into income. Let me repeat that one more time. Turning the story into the brand, and then we move on, turning the brand into the income. As you can see, there is
Yeah.
a cycle and there is a process. And listen, for some folks, some people believe that he has a twin. I mean, if you know, you know. I won't be saying too much on it, but we have also the founder of the Black is the New Rich, a movement and media platform redefining wealth and identity for the next generation. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cash Money himself, Cory Cash is in the building. Cory, how's it going?
Jeez, I'm good. Thank you for that intro. I don't think I've ever gotten like an intro like that. That was amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course, listen, for all my guests, I gotta go above and beyond. That's how it is.
Yeah.
100%, bro. I'm happy to have you on the show. We were talking before, like you have been killing it. We're definitely gonna get into all the amazing work that you've done, and we're gonna have a good conversation on turning the content that anyone can make into cash. Making it profitable. So again, I'm looking
100%.
forward to the conversation for sure.
100%. Let's get it. Let's go.
All right, cool. But before we get into all the main questions, the rigmarole, and all that good stuff, we have to start off with our opening segment, the hot seat. And now, Cory, don't let the name intimidate you, but I feel like when it comes to intimidation, you eat that for breakfast. I feel like that's not a worry for you.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Come with it.
All right, I love it. Okay, so for the hot seat, I just have 4 questions for you, and I want you to answer them to your best abilities, okay?
Yep. Let's go.
All right, perfect. So the first question. So outside of the work that you do, and you be doing a lot of killer work once again, tell me something about yourself in one sentence.
Outside of the work that I do, that's a good one. Outside of the work that I do, honestly, I would describe myself as a truth seeker. I'm always looking for knowledge. I'm always looking for truth, and I'm always looking for new things to learn. So I would say I'm a truth seeker.
Make sense? Love that. Yeah, well, 100%. Hey, listen, I resonate with what you're sharing, bro. Don't even worry about it. I love that too, because I feel like for a lot of folks, sometimes when they've learned something and they get comfortable, they like to stay in that position. It's like, well, I've learned enough. I can just kind of.
You can never learn enough. Can never learn enough, and they'll never be me.
Oh, I can tell. You're definitely like, listen, once I accomplish one thing, like, what's next? What else is out there?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's super important, especially for anyone who is like a creator, to always keep those creative juices flowing. I feel like once you lose that, then it just becomes a very difficult period to try to like bounce back, or even tell yourself like, I want to grow. But it's like, you're just okay being stuck in the same rut, or just being stuck in the same period. I mean, look at just what I've been doing right now with the Safe Room. If I was stuck to just doing one particular thing, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have someone like yourself on this platform.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, like just like a follow-up question, like, that truth seeker mentality, like when do you feel like that kind of started for you? Like, was that just like when you got into like the work that you were doing, or was it just something you knew it was just deep down, it was just you needed something to kind of bring that out even more?
I think it was always there deep down. However, the environments that I was in previously, or the things that I was necessarily doing previously, didn't allow it to come out. So when I put certain bad habits away, when I switched up my environment, it allowed me that space to actually seek deeper things about life, to be honest.
I feel you. And I think that's a really great thing to kind of have, like, just from the start, like, you could do this. And sometimes you need that push. You need just that little nudge that gets you to open up, to just make you realize like, oh, hold on. Like, this is
Yeah,
what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna do the absolute best at what I do.
100%. And sometimes you got to realize that, you're in a, sometimes you got to realize that you're in a low vibrational frequency of an environment. And when you realize that, then you'll start to think different. You'll start to want to pull yourself out if you want to get better in life. And then when you do pull yourself out, then I'm telling you, you just, a whole bunch of new opportunities and a whole bunch of new knowledge just comes.
100%. 100%. That gets me to my next question. So, what was the hardest piece of content you've had to film so far?
In my life? I think the hardest piece of content that I had to film was probably, I've only done it once and I will only do this once, is a wedding, because there's no redos. If you miss that kiss, you miss that, like, something messes up with the father-daughter dance, or your cards like get like corrupted, like you're toast, you're cooked. So that was definitely the hardest piece of content that I ever had to do. And I would, like I said, I salute all the wedding videographers, but I would never do that again.
Honestly, everyone asks is like, what's the most stressful time of a wedding? People think, is it for the bride? Is it for the groom? Is it for like the family? No, it's for the videographer. It's
Yeah,
for them.
exactly. Because there's so much going on at once and it's so unpredictable. And they're nervous, you're nervous, they're stressed, and you're stressed. And honestly, it's a little, I don't know. I can't, I did it once and I'll never do it again.
Oh
One hit
man.
wonder.
I feel you. I absolutely feel you. I see folks in the chat already getting active. Shout out to my sister saying that she's a little late, but she's here. She
Shout out to
arrived.
Sid.
Yep, arrived to the party. And honestly, like again, I do commend you for even taking on that opportunity, because I feel like a lot of folks, and again, goes back to the previous question. Sometimes we have to get out of our comfort zone to try something new, and maybe you realize, what, maybe this is something I want to try out, and maybe it was just a one-time opportunity. I learned from this, and even if I don't do it again, I could take certain things from it and maybe apply it in a different situation.
100%. I'm always about, like, I'm always the person that will try new things. And if I don't like it, I won't do it again. But I think it's important to always try new things and just expand what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's just it's essential. It's essential for any business owner, any creator, any entrepreneur to try new things if you're just wanting to grow and just see what happens. And sometimes it doesn't mean everything you try for new is like, oh, I'm gonna like it. Like,
100%,
no.
100. Actually, one of these days I'm gonna make a post on all the things that I've tried and I've failed at, because I don't think people really understand how much failure I've been through. I don't even want to call it fair. It's really lessons. But I'm the king of trying new things. I'm saying, this is not for me. Trying another thing. Saying this is not for me. I keep it going. And honestly, it got me here today.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, if you're planning to do that, let the people know. Like you might have to start a trend. If you start a trend, I will hop on that trend with you.
Okay, yeah. I might do list your failures challenge or something like that.
Yeah, there we go. We're creating ideas right here on the show. I love it. I love it. Okay. The next question I want to go to, I want you to share an interesting fact that you rarely share about yourself.
An interesting fact. I think a lot of people don't know that I have 5 brothers and sisters.
Oh, so a very big family.
Yeah. I have a big family. I'm a little private with my private life. I don't really post them too much on social media. So when people do hear that I have 5 brothers and sisters, like, oh my God, I thought you were an only child.
It's just like, wait, what? Hold on, Cory. Like it's as deep as that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm the oldest too.
Okay, so it's like like the big bro, but it's like the protector as well.
Yeah,
Like I make sure everyone
exactly.
is looked out. We're all good, we're all straight. But like, I think the main question is like, do y'all get along well? Because obviously,
no.
like big family, it's like, is there like any conflict?
Yeah, no. We all get along. One, the age discrepancy, it's so big. Like my closest sibling to me is 26, turning 27. Right. So that there's like an 8-9 year gap. And then my youngest is 8 or 9. Mm-hmm. So there's a big gap there. So yeah, there's no sibling feud at all. I think our gap is far enough where we can kind of understand each other. And again, there's 3 on my dad's side and 2 on my mom's.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to hear because obviously, like, sometimes with family dynamics, you always hear different stories about like we get along well, or it's like the Royal Rumble in the household, like it's
Yeah.
every
You know
man and
what?
woman
But
for
there's
themselves.
always going to be family issues internally. I think the most important thing is that when you guys step outside of your house or outside of your door, you're always riding for each other. It doesn't matter what's going on the inside. Is that when we're taking on the world outside, is that we're a family unit. I think that's the
Yeah.
most important.
Absolutely. Keeping that family first mentality is super important. I see Chanel commenting that we scrap all the time. That's not true, but she put the JK in there. I mean, listen, like sometimes like we'll argue, but at the same time, it's like we love each other. Like it's a very
Exactly.
because so like for those who don't know, like Chanel and I like we're twins.
Oh
So
shoot.
yeah, so like when people get that perception too, it's like, do y'all like really fight a lot? It's like, nah, like we're
Yeah.
very chill. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
it can't be me. If I had like a twin brother, twin sister, whatever, it was like identical, fraternal, like you're at each other's throats.
Yeah. 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 That's cool though.
Yeah, man. So that's a little fact I guess I would share for myself. I know the question was for you, but I thought I answer it in the
Yeah.
moment. Well, going on to this final question for this hot seat segment. What is your personal safe room? So, what is a safe space? It could be a physical safe space or even a mental safe space that allows you to be your authentic self at all times.
Honestly, it would have to be this room that I'm in now. It's quite empty. It's just my camera, a couple fake plants, and just a setting where I can think, create, and do my thing without thinking about outside noise.
Yeah, I love that. And honestly, like it's so simplistic too. I've heard multiple answers from people where it's like, oh, it's my room. And it's like, it's a very crazy setup or very like structured to the T. Or some people say it's my car, I'll be in my car and I can let go of my thoughts. Some people say it's the gym or another like mental space. But for you to be like, it's just like this room, I have a plan. It's just,
100. Actually, to be honest with you, I would even go as far as saying like it could be anywhere, as long as I have time to be by myself. I'm cool because I'm a type of
mm,
person I need to recharge by myself. That's how my creative process works. So I could be anywhere in the world, but as long as I have some space to myself for a period of time, I'll always be good.
And honestly, yeah, that's super powerful because I feel like for certain folks, it's like they need to be in a specific space because maybe that just gets their best way of just detoxing from the world and everything in their surroundings. But for someone like yourself, it's just like I just need time. Like
Exactly.
put me here. You can slap me in
Yeah,
Dubai and like
yeah,
I'm
yeah. It
good.
doesn't matter anywhere in this world. Just give me a little bit of space where I can just have my own thoughts and just me by myself. I'm cool.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so that was the hot seat segment for just to start things off, just a warm up. We're getting into it. But again, for those who are just tuning in, you're listening to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. We're here with Mr. Cory Cash himself. We just finished up the hot seat. We're now going to get into the main questions. But before we do that, I wasn't here last week, so I couldn't make this announcement, but I'm back here again, so I'm going to be doubling down. So Love Bay Radio on July 12th is having their Voice of the Millennials event, and I will be co-hosting with Kemi Famous. I said I was gonna be doing more promotion. That starts soon. I will be posting more on my Instagram, so stay tuned for that. I will be sharing more details on what the event will be, what will happen at the event. There's gonna be scholarships be given out to students. There's gonna be food, entertainment. You get a chance to network with folks, and you get the chance to meet with the Love Bay team. I'll be there again, co-hosting, doing my thing, giving 10 out of 10 vibes and entertainment as always. So again, July 12th, Voice of Millennials for Love Bay Radio. Make sure you guys RSVP sooner than later. I will be repeating this multiple times in the show, so get ready to be annoyed in a good way, because this is the event you want to be at. But let's get back into the main question. So, Cory, as if I could find my questions. I think I scrolled past it. Just give me a second, guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Technical
of course.
difficulties. Yeah. So Cory, the approach you have to your content, I would say is it's very simple, but it's very effective. And that's something I've noticed, just following your page, seeing all the stuff that you do. You know, what got you started into content creation or, wanted to strategize in content for yourself? For helping other folks? And why are you also highlighting the simplicity of producing, simple content. Because I feel like for a lot of folks, they try to crack the code, like, let me try to do something unique, something different, or like I'll follow a trend. But you're in front of a camera, you're just speaking.
That's
No
it.
flashiness, no extra bells and whistles. And it's become that, a lot of people look to you as like an expert. And that's what you are. You are an expert at what you do, and you come in the most simplistic approach. So I just want to know like what got you started to content, and just why you've just stuck through that simplistic approach to producing content.
Well, I think what got me to this side of content, where I'm more like doing brand strategy, marketing, is that I've been a videographer for the last 9 years. And honestly, I am pulling more away from that because I'm getting a little bit bored of shooting. I have way more fun helping people, just planning their own personal brands, because really content is just psychology. That's it. It's nothing really more than that. And I don't know, I just get a lot more joy helping people with their own personal brands. And videography, it's like chasing clients. Then you're kind of stuck to a certain area, where this new thing that I'm on is I can teach anyone from anywhere in the world. I can be anywhere just as long as they have an internet connection. So I think this allows me to have more freedom, and it allows me to be more impactful.
Yeah, I love that, and for you to even say that you've been doing videography for 9 years and just like, I'm bored shooting people. That's usually something that maybe like someone's not really ready to like say or move on. Because sometimes, again, when you're doing something and you're doing it very well, it's hard to step away. Whether it's even taking just a simple hiatus or wanting to try something new, which you very like expressed a lot so far. I feel like for you to do that and now find this new thing that you're doing with helping folks with strategizing in their content, and seeing all these amazing results come out of it, like, I'm happy for you. And I think that
Thank
you're
you.
definitely happy for yourself, because it's like,
Thank you.
well, this is something that I actually want to do, and I'm really passionate about. And even if it meant that, yes, I was good at what I did before with videography, it's something that I wasn't going to be doing forever. And sometimes you have to take that risk, or just acknowledge the fact that I want to try something different. I want to go into a different direction.
100%. And nowadays, like with the being a videographer, I don't know. I don't feel like I give people enough value by just shooting their content, because at the end of the day, let's say you come to me for like a 10 video or 10 reel package. That's cool. And it'll do numbers, and it'll do well, and it'll look professional, and it'll look the way you want it. But then what happens after those 10 reels? Are you going to give me another couple $1,000, or would you just rather pay me for the strategy so you can go off and do it yourself?
Honestly, I like that. I like that, because honestly, this is a sentiment I've always like kept to myself, because like, and again, this is no shade to any like videographer out there. Like, this is just coming from me, because I will see lots of folks, they'll be there with like their cameras, their setup, their whole gig, and they're filming content, especially for like conferences, seminars, and you'll see like the run of the mill. It's like, oh, after the event, there's like the recap video, the highlight reel, and like, oh, you see all these photos and stuff like that. But it's like you mentioned, like, there's a limited time period to like how much you can promote that site. So let's say an event ends, it's like, okay, we have about like enough videos for like a month or two to kind of share, like, okay, this is what happened at the event. After that, like, what's next?
And after 2 videos or 3 videos max of the same event, people get tired. Now you're just, you're fatiguing your audience.
Yeah, like, so I feel like for you saying like, I rather like teach you the strategy, so that way you can apply it to your own strategy. You can apply it there, and now it's
Mm,
like, you don't feel like you have to like do so much to like get me like multiple times to do the same thing, where it's like, how's this benefiting both of us? Like, yeah, sure, like,
exactly.
you're paying me $1,000, and again, like you mentioned, like, you can pay me $1,000 10 times over, but it's just gonna be the same situation. You're running this like going in circles. It's just like you're coming back to
Uh-huh.
me for a certain period, for a certain amount of content, for a certain timeline, and it's just like what's the point?
Yeah, I feel like I'm more valuable in teaching you. Although, yes, will I get paid well? Absolutely. But however, I value time more than my money. So I just rather have the time and sit back and teach you over the computer.
I love that. I absolutely love that. So yeah, like hearing all of that again, just the simple approach. Like, just again, like what made you go to that? Because I won't lie, I feel like I'm also a simplistic guy. I
Mhm.
do want to explore and try to get into the world of more cinematography. Not to say like I want to be a full blown cinematographer, but just to just kind of view like the different elements and see like, okay, let me give this a try. Not to say like I want to go completely, but like you said, trying new things. But that's usually like the evolved for anyone that's a creator. It's like you start small and it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
want to go grandiose, go
Yeah.
bigger. You,
Yeah.
you were sort of like, I started small, I went up, and I'm kind of going back down. Not in the terms of like, oh, I'm degrading myself, but it's just more of the approach,
Simple.
how you it's simple, right? So like
Yeah. Yeah.
what was the switch for you, especially leaving videography, now going into okay, I want to help people with brand strategy, and now I want to push that message through simple content.
I just think simple is pro. Like simple is easy to understand, and I'm very conscious of how my message is relayed, and I feel like simple is very effective. I don't want to talk to you in my jargon. I don't want to talk to you in something that you can't understand. I want to talk to you about a grade 3 level so it can resonate with you. So it can, hit an emotional chord. And so you can DM me and ask more questions.
I like that. You're just like, keep it simple. You got any questions? Link me up. Just link me up, man. I think that's
Exactly.
super good. And we are living in an age where like information is such a powerful tool. I would say it's more powerful than money. Because like sometimes it's like you could give me like $1 million right on the table right now, but I guarantee you about 9 out of 10 people would not even know what to do with that. Because they may have not seen that much money in their entire lifetime. I'll put my hand up to that. I haven't seen that in my lifetime. And B, even if you do know what to do, that money is limited. It's
Yeah.
only for a period of time where information that can be used in so many different ways for so much years to come. So I feel like for you to put that emphasis, like I want to just break it down at a simple level. I'm not gonna hit you with like crazy buzzwords or like
Yeah.
talk like I'm like I'm like in a lecture at Harvard University or
No,
nothing
you're
like
never gonna
that.
get that from me. And here's the thing, too. I'll be very honest with you. Information is powerful, but it is a double-edged sword because it's so accessible right now. I can give you the exact playbook on how to make a couple $100,000, but because it's so easy to do, you can go type that on Chat GPT in 3 seconds. Are you going to do it? Is the question. So I
Mm.
honestly think we're in the era of implementation. We've passed information because information is too accessible for everybody. So so like I said, we're in the era of implementation where is actually, I think is more important than the information.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. Now that you said that, I think that's very true. You have ChatGPT and AI being more of a primitive thing in everyone's lives. If you are an entrepreneur, a business owner, or even if it's someone that's like you're working like a corporate job, sometimes if you need an answer to a problem, sometimes you won't think on it like for so long. It's like, well, let's just ask what ChatGPT has to say about this, and then, or it's like, hey, I need to plot a market strategy, but I only got like 2 hours to spare. Hey,
Yeah,
ChatGPT, put out a template or like do this and do that. And then bada bing, bada boom, you just kind of fill in the holes. But I think, like you mentioned, the difference between like information being accessible and just like, are you going to just do it? Like, are you going to
100%,
hear it and then just like let it sit there and not do
100%,
anything? Or are you
100%.
actually going to put the action? I know, like, I've said this multiple times, and I know people think that, well, Sean, it's easier said than done. I know I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I hear information and I just sit on it and I don't do anything. And I'm not perfect, but I have to tell myself sometimes, like, yo, if you're hearing this, like, I gotta do something. Like, even if it means it's like you don't have to like get everything done in one day. Let's say like you just sit down, like, okay, you know what? I want to just write down a checklist of like this is what I'm going to do. Let
Yeah,
me see if I can at least knock out one of it. If I don't knock out
yeah,
like all five, if I can get one,
yeah.
that's implementation right there.
100%, 100%. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like people just buying my course. Because I offer mentorship with it for at least a month. And I prefer people to get that package because if I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable with giving people just the information because there's too much information out there.
Yeah, that's so true. And we were talking before that you do have a video that talks about that. course. So like, I was gonna ask this later on, but since we're kind of
Yeah, go
nudging into it, let's just get
on.
right into it,
All
man.
right.
Yeah, like what was the idea of starting the UB course, wanting to do that, but also you did talk about how you don't just want people to take it and then just again do nothing with it, but you want to see how you can support them. The mentorship is super important as well. Cause again, I feel like a lot of people are like a lot. I feel like it is. I might rant. I might go on a little rant here, but bear with me. I felt like I've been in so much programs or like mentorship, whatever the case may be, where people will tell me things, and then I feel like for that particular period, it makes sense. But then the more like I go on with life, and I think to myself, this didn't do anything for me. Like I'm somehow still stuck in the same, it's like the same atmosphere. Like, how come I'm not leveling up? How come I'm not going to the next rule? Well, I feel like the way you explained it in the video on YouTube was very like it was beautiful and just
Thank
its
you.
like reasoning. So I want you to kind of go into detail just how the course got started and like what you want the precipice for this course to be for anyone who's interested.
Okay, so first of all, I didn't actually start the course. It was started by a girl from Toronto named Jasmine, and she actually had told me about her course that she had made about a year ago, and I just kind of fluffed her off. I was like, "Ah, this sounds like an MLM. Like, get out of here, whatever." However, a year goes by and I'm like, you know what? Let me take a look at this course because you can resell it and get 85% commissions. So I'm like, okay, well, it's called the Ultimate Branding Course. And I've always wanted to have a course of my own. But here we have a done for you course that I would be teaching these subjects anyway. So I buy the course, I'm in it. I was actually blown away about how much I've learned. And I've been in content creation for the last 9 years. And I'm like, and I use strategies from the course. I'm like, you know what? This is something I can sell. This is something I can push. And it does the heavy lifting for me because with my clients now, what I'll do is I'll tell them to go watch a couple modules, then come back to me, and then we'll implement what they have learned. So that's how the course got started. And it's an 85% commission. If you were to buy the course tomorrow, you can start selling that course tomorrow if you wanted to. And I just think it made more sense for me because it was about branding and content.
Yeah, and I think that's like really great. Like I saw that part of it. I was like, wait a minute, like you can buy the course and then sell it. It's just like
Yeah.
it's like a win-win situation. But
Yeah.
again, it's kind of like
85% commissions too?
yeah,
Come on now.
I mean that's amazing. And it
Yeah.
kind of goes back to like there's like what you mentioned, the implementation. It's given someone that that push to say like, hey, you're not only learning, but you could like pass this along to somebody else who could
100%.
really use it. Because I feel like for a lot of folks, sometimes they'll sell a product or a course, and they get in one client, but then in terms of like the sales funnel, it's like okay, after that client's completed the course or used the product, then it's like, oh,
Dead.
well, they can't refer it to anyone else. Like, okay, they're done. And it's just like, I got to find someone new. But
Yeah.
with the system you have, it's like, you can now, like, you're kind of like my own, like, you're like my supplier, like, or you're pushing the stuff for me. Like, you're
Yeah. And,
doing
and
it.
the thing is, like, if you get the course and you sell it to someone or you sell it to your sister, I don't make any money off of that.
Yeah. And like
That's it. That's
that,
all. That 85% is all yours.
and that's a telling thing because I feel like when it comes to a lot of business owners, like we can be sensitive about our money. Like I get it. Like the bottom line is important. If you are trying to build a sustainable business, profits need to be there and it needs to be sustainable. But for you to even say like, listen, if you sell it, I get no change because again, at the end of the day, it's about the time and the value that I'm providing.
100%. And here's another thing about the course. I personally don't position the course as something you can sell because I truly believe there's information in there that can help you with content branding and marketing. So I'm taking a learn or teaching a learning approach when it comes to the course. If you want to sell it, that's cool. And if it makes sense to whatever you're doing, that's cool. But my approach is not even for you to sell it. My approach is for you to actually implement the information that's in there.
Yeah, I think that's super dope. I just wanted to ask you, like, have you ever thought of like doing like one of those like master classes? Because I could definitely see you in that position.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, when I round up a bigger audience, when I get more people into the my movement, for sure, I can definitely see myself doing masterminds. I can definitely see myself doing more group things that are more concentrated, but it's just only a matter of time. I'm just trying to build up the trust online so people can see, like, they can see my work, resonate with it, and then sign up for whatever I got going on.
Yeah, I think that's super dope. 100%. Again, for those who are just coming in, you're listening to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. We're here with Cory, and we've been having a great conversation on content, the importance of simple content. If you have been tuned in since the beginning, I appreciate y'all. Y'all are some real ones. For real, I appreciate y'all. Again, go crazy in the comments, not too crazy. Again, this is a
Shout out to your
PG
twin.
show. Yeah, shout out to Chanel, shout out to her. So definitely type in the comments. You guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll do my best to go through all of them as we go. So yeah, we're gonna go on to the next question now. We're gonna continue a little bit more on the simple content leads to like cash. So I
Yeah,
want to ask you, Cory, specifically, like when was that moment where you started to produce that simple content and it started to like reap the rewards? And maybe if it wasn't like cash, but maybe you just saw like a spike in those numbers. It's like, oh wow, like this approach is really like resonating with a lot of folks. And it's not just to say like, oh, the numbers are there because they look pretty, but it's like there's an actual like conversion of like, okay, I need to keep doing more of this. And this is what's going to help people to resonate more what I'm trying to share. And it's also going to bring people in because they want to hear more, get more of
yeah.
my expertise.
Yeah, so for me, because I've been a videographer for quite a bit of time, I feel like it built a resume for me to now teach how to turn your content into cash. So that I do have a little bit of an advantage. And I feel like it's weird because when I started talking about how to brand yourself, how to do content, it just people just started flooding my DMs like and asking me more questions. And then I started like I don't know, I just, honestly it happened so fast. I can't even tell you the exact point like where it happened. It just happened so fast, and I think it's because people have seen me over the years build up this platform. So when I started teaching, they're like, "Yeah, okay, now I want to learn."
Yeah, and sometimes like when it comes to like social media in general, like not everyone's going to like blow up immediately. And sometimes it's the most random day where you have everyone just like messaging you saying like, I want to learn more, or like, can you like help me, or like is there any way you can coach me and stuff like that. And now all of a sudden it's those switches or that shifts we have in our careers that sometimes like we don't realize in the moment, and it's until like later down the line where you just again another random day you reflect and it's like,
Mhm.
holy smokes, like I like well, I'm here because of like just one singular moment. So like I
Yeah.
can only imagine how that was for you. You did talk about like again, which is like I didn't know how to feel. It's just kind of like you kept going and you kept pushing on, but I know that must have been a huge accomplishment for you.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, anytime that anybody reaches out for advice, anybody that reaches out to want to do a podcast with me, like honestly, I'm extremely humbled by it because I'm like, wow, like I have some information that people, can help their lives, and yeah, I'm extremely humbled by it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think just speaking of podcasts, I talked about in the beginning, you were the host of Black is the New Rich. And that's where I
Yeah,
really started to discover like your content and hearing all the conversations. I was like, bro, this is like super dope. Like, this is
thank you,
amazing. So,
thank you.
like, just like quickly, just how did Black is the New Rich, how did that get started? I know right now you're kind of like just taking some time off of that, but I know like, was there any point where you were working on, the brand strategy content, making that simple content? Was there like, I guess, any issues of trying to balance that with the show, with the podcast, or did you find that there was a neutral ground that I could work on the show, I can work on Black is New Rich, and also still help folks with the brand strategy content?
Yeah, so now I'm finding there's a synergy between the two because I feel like at the end of the day, content creates cash, kind of fuels things like Black is the New Rich. And also Black is the New Rich is again more resume pieces to let people know that I know what I'm doing because I know I can run up views like crazy with Black is the New Rich or any type of podcast. I just know how to run up views now, right? So I'm going to be back doing more podcasts where I'm the host because I know how to run them simultaneously where it works for me.
That's great. And that's always like another evolution for any creator or entrepreneur, being able to have that balance between multiple projects or multiple things that you're doing. So like for myself, like it was just last year I opened my personal IG. And like for the longest time, everyone's like, how come you don't have a personal IG? It's like I don't even know what the heck I would even do on there. Like what would I share? And like I'm still trying to figure it out. But I
let me
do
help you.
want.
Let me help you. Let me help you. Let me help you.
Okay, okay. You know
Look,
what? That's
this
go
is the
ahead.
thing. When people think about content, they're always thinking about what can I create. I like to tell my clients, forget about trying to create something. Just document what you already do. So when you have that perspective shift, it becomes easier to think about. If you're a good cook or if you're something that you do consistently, just hit the record button and you'll figure it out.
All right, I like that. I do like that because honestly, I'm someone that's like in my spare time. Sometimes I'll watch like a lot of like YouTube videos and everything like that. And it's funny enough because I was just at a launch party in Oshawa on Sunday, and I was talking with a friend, and we were both having the conversation of like we want to do a little bit more solo podcasting because obviously like my show is structured about having a guest. But what people don't know, like in the earlier days when I got started in 2020, I was actually sitting in front of a mic for like 50 minutes to an hour, like talking
Wow,
about
that's
myself. Like,
amazing.
yeah, so
That's good. That's
I
good.
could do that. Like that was like not so bad for me. Like even on YouTube, I would watch a lot of like podcasters or people that would go live on YouTube and like talk for hours. Like I'm still a fan of like wrestling today, and there's like
Yeah.
this YouTuber who he will literally do like a review of like Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown for like 2 to 3 hours. Like
Wow.
every week,
And
it
he gets
didn't
views.
matter. He gets views. Like people tune in for him. Like usually, like if people are like watching like a wrestling live stream video on YouTube, it's like about 100, 200 people. Like sometimes on a good day, he's getting like 5,000 folks to
Yeah.
watch live. So it's
Yeah.
like it really inspires me to like I want to do something like that. And like you mentioned, just instead of thinking about what to create, like kind of document what you do. And again, I like to watch other people and watch other videos and kind of give my own reactions or my own takes on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like that might be the plan, honestly.
So let me ask you. So since you said that, give yourself a date. When are you going to start?
Honestly, I could start probably as soon as like next week. Just like
Okay.
give it a
I'm going
shot.
to hold you to it. I'm going to
All
hold you
right,
to
all
it.
right. All right, definitely. I just gotta figure out like, okay, get everything sorted out, and we'll give it a try. Listen, if it works, it works. If we fail, it's not a failure, it's a lesson.
Exactly. What doesn't work for you is working on you.
Yeah. Chanel's talking about 10 p.m. tonight, bro. I got working tomorrow. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, like I want to also ask you too, like with some of the folks you have helped as well, like what are some of the, I guess, common issues they come up to you asking about like how they can step their content up? Because I know like you just kind of you broke me down, which I do appreciate. You appreciate kind of figuring out like what I could possibly do. But what are some common things you've heard from like clients who have come to you wanting your expertise? Like what are just some of the common things they've shared in terms of like this is what I want to like fix to produce better content?
It would definitely be the introverts. All the introverts come to me because I'm naturally an introvert myself. And I actually hated talking in front of the camera and I hated doing this type of stuff. However, at the end of the day, I just had to, crush my ego and think, hey, I have this message inside of me and it's actually selfish if I don't get this out. So before I ever did my first podcast, I actually recorded myself every day for 30 days just on my phone talking about my day. And that helped me get in front of the camera. So now when I have clients that are introverted, they're shy, I give them a few exercises to get comfortable with being in front of the camera. And even now, like I still have nerves about being in front of the camera because it doesn't feel natural to me. But I just feel like, when you remove your ego, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like a lot of people still have that issues like turning on the camera and trying to like say something just straight up. Again, like I feel like it would be easier for me to like sit in front of a camera and speak for an hour than
That's
having to
amazing. I
film.
wish I
No,
could do that.
no, that's easier for me than to sit in front of a camera and give like a 1-minute spiel like for my Instagram.
Wow.
Like I would
Wow.
be freaking out, like, oh gosh, like okay, I can't forget to say this, or just again, I'd be
So,
overthinking. So like I need to know when to just let go.
so let me tell you. I know this is your show, but I'm gonna have to tell you.
No, go
You're
ahead.
actually you are if you can talk for an hour and that's considered easy for you, you're sleeping on yourself. you're sleeping on yourself, because YouTube is the place for long form content and YouTube pays the most. You're sleeping on yourself.
Honestly, I think I need to wake up. I have to wake up. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm trying to get better. So I might even try like that technique where it's like for 30 days straight, I'll just like document like what I did. Like just like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
day in Sean, a day with Sean, something simple.
100%. And at the end of the day, like I always tell people as well, is like, prepare yourself to be garbage for 100 videos, or prepare yourself if to do this content thing. And if in 1 year nothing changes, are you okay with that? Have that type of grit to see it through.
Yeah, 100. Bro. Honestly, that's the same mentality I kind of share for my podcast. Listen, if anyone goes on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and listens to the first 20 episodes, cringe. Like
Yeah, they're always
like
gonna be
I
cringe.
was literally scrolling through on Spotify and I was like, ew, ew. I'm just gonna worse and worse, but it's like, you know what?
Yeah,
It needed to happen. It needed
100%,
to happen.
100%.
Man. Yeah, but like honestly, I feel like that's very important that again, a lot of the clients you have, like they're introverts, so like they're just trying to like get in front of a camera and just like
Yeah,
have that confidence. And I can tell like again, it's a surprising to hear that you're an introvert yourself. I can imagine some people think like, oh no, Cory, like this is easy to him. Like
yeah,
he
no,
clearly
no,
is an
no.
extrovert.
Yeah, this is a grind. This is a grind. I'm doing God's work, because if it wasn't up to God, I would not be doing this.
Yeah, I feel you, man. But like, I think it's just a testament to just how much you're committed to what you do and helping folks as well. Because I feel like for myself, I try to do everything for the safe room, not as a sense of like, hey, I got all these amazing guests. Don't get me wrong. If I want to, I'm a persistent dude. I can pull some people and be like determined, but it's like I'm not trying to like get the flashiest guests or like, oh, let me get
Yeah,
Drake on the show or like let me get
yeah,
this
yeah,
person.
yeah,
Nah. I mean,
yeah.
I just want to like bring people on so they can have the opportunity to share their stories, just like you're sharing your story right now. So
Fair,
if it resonate with someone else, it gets them motivated and inspired to do what they want to do.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, I also see Chanel in the chat. We all introverts love that. Listen,
Yeah.
Chanel's probably the biggest introvert I've ever like encountered, and I'm not just saying that because like she's my sister, but like I don't think she's been out to like a social event and like okay, well, let me not twist my words. She's been out. It's not that she's completely inside, but it's like it's a certain type of events. Like in
Fair.
terms of like a normal networking event, it's been like ages. It's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
like
To be honest, I
mhm.
really don't like going to network events myself. Yeah, this is a little overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah, like even for me, and I know everyone's thinking like, "Oh, Sean, you're capping." It's like, no, trust me. Like, I
Yeah,
don't want to do it because like every time it's the same approach. You walk in the room, the first thing someone says, it's not even like, "How's your day going?" It's like, "So tell
what
me
do you
what you
do?
do."
Oh, exactly, exactly, exactly.
Bro, like I'm so done. I actually have a story. So it was back in 2023. I went out to like a small event and I told myself before I go, I'm like, I ain't trying to talk about the safe room. I'm not trying to talk about nothing. I'm just there to like just chat it up, have a vibe with people.
Mhm.
So I went there and I ran into a couple of folks. One is a cinematographer, another one, he also does videography. And I was just chatting. I'm like, hey, bro, like, what's your favorite music? And it started from there. And then we started talking about high school memories. And I remember it was the three of us. We were in the back of the room and we were like laughing like crazy because we were just having a good time. Everyone turned around, was looking at us crazy, like, bro, what are they
Well, that's genuine
doing?
conversation right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's genuine conversation. It's like, it's not like the sense of type of, okay, I'm gonna talk. You tell me about what you do. I tell you what you do. And it's just like, okay, I don't mind bigging on myself. Don't get me wrong, but there's just dates like, I want to leave that alone.
Yeah, yeah. Facts. I get it.
Yeah. So I mean, like again, we're all introverts. I feel like everyone just has that,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
100%. So yeah, just going back to the ultimate branding course, like specifically, just could you explain like the details of that without giving it too much? Because obviously, I want people to be intrigued. I want people
Yeah,
to go
no,
get
no.
it.
Of
So
of course, of course. With the ultimate branding course, if you're having trouble on just positioning yourself online, if you're having trouble with coming up with content ideas, if you're having trouble with, creating your back end when it comes to email marketing, if you're having trouble with anything social media, it's on there. There's over 250 modules. And I think the best thing about the course is it's a community of over 50,000 people. And every week everybody gets on, well, not everybody, but people get on a call and it's a question and answer type of thing. So there's live calls as well. So it's not like you're just doing a course, getting information and that's it. And there's a whole community to it. And like I said, there's over 50,000 people in the course, in the community.
Yeah, that sounds amazing because I can only imagine even just putting a course together. It takes a lot of time.
100%.
Obviously you'll have like that ideation phase where you have all the ideas and you want to put them on, but it's also like putting together like maybe a script. Making
Yeah.
sure everything makes sense. Proofreading, making sure like again if there's new ideas that come to bay, maybe you have to go back to that script and keep editing because sometimes what you write down the first time doesn't mean that's going to be like the final cut. Like that's what I'm going to just say once we start filming. And then obviously the filming aspect, if that's something people want to do, or maybe it's like I'll just do like audio only. But I feel like with any course, like there is the video component, so it's
Exactly.
like want to make sure everything is like run of the mill, everything is smooth through there. Then the post production, I don't know, but there's like that's like everyone's scripting that one day here post production, it's like, oh boy,
Yeah,
that's it.
and there's ways around that now. Like there's a lot of cheap editors out there, So even for me, like I would say about 60% of my videos I send out to edit. I'm not gonna waste my time doing that. I'm just gonna work on what I can work on. I will work on what I'm better at than editing,
Yeah, and I would even say that's like just having like a good team around you. And I feel like for a lot of creators, entrepreneurs, business owners, I think you really know when you're evolving is when you have a team, when you can't do certain things that you could have done solo. And I feel like I'm now starting to get to that point where like I have a couple folks that I will call upon. Like let's say I'm going to an event, I'm doing interviews, and it's like, hey, before I didn't mind bringing my little camera and just like being like the one that sticks out of the room. It's like, nope, I can't do that anymore. Hey, can you come and film for me? Because I want to be able to do my thing and not panic to see, hey, is my camera dying? Like, it's like, I don't want to be in that situation anymore. So I feel like when you have a team, just like yourself, sending all those videos to edit, it's super important.
100%.
Yeah, man, 100%. Okay, so I want to go into this role play activity. Now, here's the thing: we kind of did that already, so I actually want to continue. I want to continue off of that. So you know what? So the live stream thing. So I do want to do that. That's something I have had inspirations to do before. Not sure exactly what
about wrestling.
It might be about wrestling. It might just be like anything in general. Honestly, like
what are you most interested in?
Wrestling, music as well.
Keep it at wrestling. You said wrestling first. That's it. Go with it. Next, what you said, Monday. I want to see.
Monday.
I'll be tuned in.
Okay, you know what? Let me check my schedule because I might be working Monday. Tuesday, I'm open. Tuesday, I will mark down Tuesday. Guaranteed.
Okay. So that's your official date. Is Tuesday that you're gonna try it. And what do you think if this thing were to work out, right? Yeah. What do you think life would look like? What like what's going on in your life if this live stream thing with wrestling works out and it's doing everything that you want it to do? What does life look like?
Oh man, that's a really good question. Honestly, like I don't know if this is a cop-out answer. I haven't even thought about it like that. But yeah, because I'm
just, right now.
I'm being genuine because like I would love it to be where if I could do the live streams and if it was working, that it would become like a constant thing I do. And maybe I have like a certain like schedule set up. Maybe if it's like weekly, bi-weekly, whatever the case may be. And I've had aspirations as well, just doing more than just the safe room. Obviously, I've been doing the safe room for 5 years now, and it's been great. But I've always had inspirations to do like other types of like podcasts or like shows that talk about different things. So again, the wrestling, I would love to have like a particular like show or podcast on sports. And that's funny enough, I actually did do that back in 2021. And I had a podcast with my best friend Kevin. And we called it Court Advantage. And at the time being, we were just having sports conversations. Now, like we weren't doing it. We're not doing it now because obviously like we were super busy. He started working, I started working. So our schedules didn't align. But that's something I want to bring back. And I've always asked myself, like, what does that look like? Because it's like, he's working, I'm working, but we do have that desire. Maybe it's through the live stream, maybe it's through YouTube instead of like, okay,
I'm trying to tell you.
yeah. That's a possibility. So I'm like, that's something I would love to do, just to kind of expand and, maybe even take all these like different shows that I want to do and like it's kind of like umbrellaed under like one name or under like one
Yeah.
company. That's something I have aspirations for. So
It
that's a
okay.
possibility.
So if this live stream with the wrestling could free up some of your time where you never had to work a quote unquote job again, would you take that on?
I mean, yeah, like I would love to like be on YouTube like consistently and like make money off of that. Cause obviously, like you mentioned, YouTube is the platform for long form content.
Yeah.
So if anyone can like make video and be consistent and grind, you can definitely reap the benefits of like, getting the profits. And even for live streams, I know like people send like, their donations or the like that's another way too that people would make like revenue or income off of live streams. And again, if you have a huge audience, like people will be more willing to give money. Again, like I mentioned, the dude that makes all like 2 hour, 3 hour videos. Like there's people throwing out like $100 bombs like multiple times within that like live stream. Like this dude is like, I can only imagine like how much he's making like
Yeah.
per
Fair.
month. So
Fair. Okay, so based on everything that you shared, I actually think I can help you. Would you like me to show what working together would look like?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're
So, hold on. That's the role play. That's it right there.
That's the role play. Yeah,
that's it right there. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's great. I love that because usually when I get into the role play session, I have to explain it to people. But the fact that you kind of like got to it first and it just felt natural again, like I love that. I love that. So
No
again,
worries.
like the reason why we talked about this ahead of time about the role play is like I like to paint that picture for anyone who's listening that if they were to book a call with you, this is exactly the type of like environment you would expect. So I'm glad that there's a synergy there.
Yeah, I want it to be natural. That's all.
No, I love it. That's what we're all about here on the Safe Room. It's all about that natural state, man. It's all about that natural state. Well, I do have one more thing, and this is more on the fun end. We've had a great conversation. Again, for those who have stayed from the beginning, Chanel, I know you've been here since we started. Shout out to the twin. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. But again, if you're just coming in, you're listening to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. We're talking to Cory Cash. Again, before we get into our final segment, I'm going to repeat this again. Voice of the Millennials, Saturday, July 12th. Okay, make sure you come out. I will be co-hosting with Kemi Famous. We're going to be giving out scholarships. It's going to be food, vendors, whole lots of entertainment. You don't want to miss it. Love Bay, Voice of the Millennials, July 12th. I'll be posting more details very, very soon. It's just like work's been a little bit, it's been shaky this week. I wasn't supposed to work yesterday, but things kind of got mixed up. So, I mean, we will work it out, but I'm here. It's like Cory mentioned, like sometimes you got to try things and, you're not failing, you're having lessons. So that's what it is. But I want to get into our final stuff. Now, this fun portion, I tell this every single week. It really depends how I'm feeling. Some days I will figure out this part of the structure ahead of time. But most days, including today, I figured this out like literally an hour ago.
Okay.
So like we're rolling with the fun. I feel like that's what we've been doing the entire time.
Okay, let's get it.
Okay, so we're gonna do a little game where I'm going to be listing out some categories, right?
Yeah.
Now, I want you to simply just close your eyes, and then I'm gonna tell you a statement. Let's say I'll say, okay, this category is based on like fruits. So you would close your eyes. And I would say, open your eyes when you can name me 1 fruit, 2 fruit, 3 fruits, and whatever number you feel like you can name up to. Let's say you get to 9, you open your eyes.
Okay.
So then you would have to name set amount of number of whatever in a certain amount of seconds.
Okay. And man, these type of things, I'm a thinker, so we'll see how this goes.
I try to like pick some, I guess, easy ones, but also like, okay, let's see, like let me not make it so like difficult. But then again, I don't know. Maybe I could be setting myself up for failure because I did selections. But let's start with something simple. So I know there's a certain artist that is performing right now, probably as we speak. His name is Kendrick Lamar. But
Yes.
since this is Toronto, we're not going to talk about Kendrick. I like Kendrick. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I like Kendrick. We're going to talk about Drizzy Drake. Now,
Okay.
this category is having to do with an album. Okay.
Okay.
So, Cory, I just want you to close your eyes. Okay. Keep them closed. Now, I want you to open your eyes when you can name this amount of number of songs on Drake's album Views. Okay, so you open your eyes only when you know you can name as much. Okay, and just to let you know, in total, guys, there are 20 songs on Views. Okay, all right, so here we go. 1, 2, 2.
Wait. I'll be very honest with you. I don't listen to Drake, so I don't
Oh,
know.
really?
I don't know one song on Views. Obviously, if I hear a couple songs, but I don't know that it belongs to Views.
Okay, so you know what? How about this? You give me an artist that you listen to, and we'll work with that. Like, who is someone you?
Man. My favorite artist is Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey? Okay. I like that. I like that. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do victory lap.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Okay, but I feel like if your favorite artist is Nipsey, you
Yeah,
should do a little bit
you know
better.
what it is, because I'm not good with like the names of the songs. But if you play it right now, I'll do word for word. But let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Close your eyes. All right. Okay, so Cory, just close your eyes. I
Yeah.
want you to open your eyes when you can name this amount of songs on Nipsey Hussle's victory lap. Okay, so I'm gonna count up. Whatever you hear a number, just open your eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, we're
4. Okay, so here's the thing. You have to name me 4 songs off of Nipsey Hussle's victory lap in
I'm
10
stressed.
seconds.
I'm stressed.
In 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Yes. I'm gonna get the timer, okay?
Uh,
Okay, give me a second. In 10 seconds. So 4 Nipsey Hussle songs in
okay.
10 seconds. So your time starts now.
Okay. Rap Ninjas. Last time I
Okay.
checked. Um Intro?
Oh, time's up. You were going so well. I get it. Like it's like it's pressuring, you know. Just
Yeah, it's pressure. It's pressure.
yeah. But like there's a lot. There's grinding all my life.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Yeah, bro. There was a couple, bro. So I mean, I get it.
Oh God, rest in peace, Nip. I swear I'm a real fan.
People are gonna watch this and think like, nah, he's not about it. Okay. How about this? So let's get off of music. Do you watch basketball?
Yes.
Okay, I figure because it's like again, I made the little running joke at the beginning with you and Dylan Brooks and everything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about this? I'm going to be going through the category of the NBA career leaders in points. So the points leaders,
Okay.
right? This is all time, okay? Again, I'm going up to 20 just to make it easier, okay? But again, I want you to close your eyes and open your eyes when you can name the set amount of players in the top 20 for all-time points.
Okay, I can do this.
Okay, close your eyes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, let's go. Let's try.
Okay,
let's try
10.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be generous. 10. You have to name 10 all of the top 20 all-time NBA points leaders in 30 seconds. I'll give you 30 seconds.
Okay.
All right. Your time starts now.
LeBron, Kareem, Karl Malone, Kevin Durant, Steph.
Mm-hmm. Is he in there?
Is he in there?
Oh no, he's not. He's not.
Karl Malone, Steph, KD, Carmelo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Carmelo. Is Iverson in there?
Iverson, no, but your time is up. Time is
Oh.
up.
Who did I miss? Who did
Dude,
I miss?
did you say Kobe?
Oh, I know. I don't know why I said I didn't say Kobe.
Kobe, Dirk, Shaq, Hakeem
Did I say
Olajuwon.
Jordan?
Yeah, you said Jordan. You said Jordan.
Yeah. Shaq.
Yeah, you were. I think you had like 5. Was there 5? You said
Like 6 or 7.
Yeah, you were close. You were close. You were close.
Yeah.
You were close. All
Kobe's a
right.
no-brainer.
Yeah, again, but I get it. Like it's pressure because it's like you don't be thinking about this. And when like you have like time added, it's a lot, bro.
Oh man, my bad again. R.I.P. Kobe.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. We're gonna try one more time. We're gonna go back to music. Give me another artist that you listen to outside of Nipsey.
Oh God, I actually really don't. I'll be honest with you, I don't really listen to too much music since he passed away because it was my favorite artist. So I was like, you know what? Forget the whole culture. Forget the whole culture.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, how about this? How well would you say you know like Ontario in terms of like cities?
Okay, let's try.
Okay, we'll give it a try. Okay, so we're gonna have you close your eyes and you're gonna open your eyes if you can name this amount of cities in Ontario.
Okay.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, let's go.
10. Okay. All right. For this one, I'm gonna give you like the biggest lob. 10 in 1 minute. In 1 minute.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, listen. I'm just saying. Like, I believe in you. I believe in you.
All
right. Your time starts now.
Okay. Oshawa, Whitby, Ajax. Is Scarborough considered a city?
Scarborough. No, it's not on here.
Okay. Toronto.
Mississauga. Yeah.
Oakville, Burlington, Hamilton, Grimsby. 10.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, that wasn't so bad. Yeah. With only 37 seconds to spare. So you breezed through that.
Yeah. Thank you. Fuck.
I can get it. Like there's just the sweat and the nervousness. There we go. Oh, at least you got one.
Hey man, I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to wrap up. That's everything I have. But Cory, just thank you so much for coming on. It's been a long time coming. Appreciate your time, man. It's a fantastic conversation, bro. You're always welcome back. Let the people know where they can find you on social media.
Thank you. Well, you can find me on Instagram, corycash.co. If you're looking for content tips, it's Content Creates Cash on Instagram. TikTok, it's either Black is Doing Rich or corycash.co. And YouTube is youtube.com/corycash89.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Cory. And thank you to everyone listening for the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. Again, Voice the Millennials, July 12th. Come out. This is the event you want to be. I'm going to keep repeating it. Okay. Come out July 12th. I'll be co-hosting with Kemi Famous. Again, scholarships, food, vendors, entertainment, 10 out of 10. It's the event of the summer that you want to be at. So pop out. If you guys want to find me on Instagram, I'm at the Safe Room Official, or follow my personal page, the President of TO. And soon be following on YouTube because we're gonna make that live happen.
Right. I was waiting for that.
we're gonna make that happen. So make sure you guys tune into that, and make sure you guys tune in next week to your favorite show here on Love Bay Radio. Until then, we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.